again. It's a redskin.
Well, hello, Mim.
Hello, friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. I mean, the sun's coming through now. We've had a week of really dodgy weather, so whenever the sun turns up, I'm just in a much better mood, to be honest. What about you?
Likewise. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I've got some gym aches that I'm nursing today. Had to have a bath in the middle of the day. That's how bad it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Just trying to get those gains, those post lockdown gains. But yeah, welcome back, guys, to Style Over Substance. It's me, Scarlett.
And it's me, Mim. It's episode 4.
It's episode 4.
Yeah.
We should be seasoned pros by now.
I mean, we are getting into the swing of it a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we'll let the listeners be the judge.
We'll let those 5-star reviews be the judge.
Yeah, exactly. Only 5 stars here, guys, if you're gonna leave a review. So, fashion story. What is yours this week?
Story. Well, this week, we had someone write in with a fashion story that I thought I would put forward. My friend Isis has asked us to kind of discuss the new implementation of face masks in shops and how we think that's going to affect the retail space, because I think a lot of shops think that's going to deter people. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of wearing a face mask. My motto has been, so I don't live in central London, so it's not as essential here. You can be a lot more spaced out from people. And at the moment, I really only go and do a food shop in public. Like, that's the only thing I do in public. And I don't really, I feel like I haven't been wearing it for that. So I don't really want to wear it. Is
it going to deter you from going into a shop though?
I think if I've got to do it for my food, then I see no difference, to be honest. But I think I was saying this the other day to my dad, there's some association of a face mask. It just feels a little bit daunting because you associate it obviously normally with a hospital. But it's going to be the new norm. And I think that it might stop people for a few days, but to be honest, the footfall's down anyway, isn't it? Obviously.
Yeah.
What do you feel about it?
I mean, I think to me, wearing a face mask is not a big deal, really, in the grand scheme of things. It's not that. I have one that makes my face sweaty, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, well, I think it's getting used to the fact that you're breathing on your face. Like...
Yeah. Especially when I've got like sunglasses or glasses on. It's like steaming up my eyes. But in general, it's not a big deal. I'd rather wear it than having someone breathe on me, breathing on them, numbers going up, us being locked down for longer. Like, I don't mind so much.
It's
and
a
I think
really
it's really
easy safety measure.
Yeah, I think if it's just for shops, because I was watching an interview earlier today, actually, it was with Edward Enninful with Sadiq Khan. It's a really old interview, but he was saying, like, when you are near up close with other people, then wear the mask. So if it's not crowded, then, and I don't wear a mask like going down the high street or anything, for me, I understand where it's coming from. God knows I don't want numbers to go back up again. I need to be let out in the world. I can't stand this any longer. Will it deter people from shopping? I think that, being locked up for a few months already, people have already made that fundamental switch to shopping online, I think. And I hope that companies, fashion businesses, brands, whatever, have made that pivot to making online shopping more accessible to their customers. About time. I mean, we've been doing this for months now. I would have thought that they would have cottoned on and really gotten their act together in that sense. Just wear a mask if you want to go shopping,
Yeah, I think it's the case of anybody who's maybe been a bit like me in the past of like, I don't really want to wear one. Like, I'm going to keep my bubble small. Kind of just the first time you wear it. I had to wear one to the doctors last week, and initially it felt weird, and then you're kind of like, well, but this is the sensible thing to do. So, like, I'm actually not looking stupid, or I don't feel stupid, or whatever you're thinking or going through your head, because actually, like, I'm being safe, and this is the right precaution. So I think people will get used to it. I think it's
You're always gonna get people who would just want to be like
some
defiant
people
for
are never
defiance
happy.
sake.
Karen, stop complaining.
Karens can also be men as well. I know. Yeah.
Carl.
I've come across a few of them myself. All I can say is, like, hopefully, like, companies are just doing that online e-commerce pivot anyway.
And I will say, I just don't think there's one easy fix for opening up the economy. I know that Bojo thinks that just suddenly clicking his fingers and telling us all to return to an office means we're all going to go to prep for lunch and buy a coffee on the way in and all of that. Like, I don't think the world like that is going to return for a long old while, just because people will be more sensible and people will be a little bit not wanting to do some things. But I think we'll find our way, and it's, you know, it will all come hopefully in due course. What's your fashion story?
I don't really have one.
So far, and you've run out.
I know. No, I haven't run out. I just I did announce to my mum and my sister that this is officially day one of my no clothes shopping. Ooh. So next week, if any listeners,
give us an update.
Yeah, I can do like a little update.
Oh my god, we can have a Mim's corner.
I could tell you about my weaknesses and stuff. I actually, you know what it was? It was because I bought a couple bits this morning that were like really well priced, like really, like, I'm sorry, I did. And then I was just like, okay, I'm done now. Like, I'm satisfied. I can go months without shopping again.
Day one starts tomorrow.
Okay, well,
if you bought something today.
Okay, well then it's day zero. Okay. It's round zero for me.
That's cool.
They were like a pair of wide leg velvet trousers, kind of like a burnt sienna color.
Yeah, I can picture them.
And they were £12. And I have a pair of like velvet wide leg trousers anyway, but in dark green, and I love them. They're so comfortable. I like anything like wide legged baggy. They're so comfortable, but they're like smart. Do you know what I mean? It's like wearing jeans, but they're a bit like
they got a something.
Yeah. So I bought that, and then I bought something else, but it was again really well priced. It was this linen suit, and it was cream coloured, double-breasted jacket, matching trousers. And I was like, You know what? When brunch comes around, that's what I'm wearing. When I decide to venture out for brunch, that's what I'm wearing. Not that I'm scared of eating out, but it's just like, yeah, so I bought that. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm happy.
Nice. Oh, well, you have to keep us updated. I reckon the first few days or weeks are the hardest because it's hard to get out of that habit of perusing the internet. But then I guess you get like a habit of putting your time elsewhere.
As I already mentioned, like I've done this before. And like, whereas like you need a Monday or a 1st of Jan to start something, once I know in my mind that
you started it on a Thursday.
I started on a Thursday midday. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through any subscriptions that I have, maybe clear my cookies in my like browser, in my like clear any cookies, like remove any emails, stuff like that, and just like it's quite easy to avoid the shop right now, isn't it? I'm not going many places, so that will all make it easier. But yeah,
best of luck in your ventures.
Anyway, moving on to our topic. So we mentioned last week that we were going to talk all things couture. So yeah, like I think a lot of people who maybe haven't worked in design or haven't worked in major fashion houses, like the biggest, the most luxury, don't really know that there's a clear definition of couture.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I would say, and forgive me for stereotyping how people view fashion, but I would say that people who aren't as well versed in it, or like you said, haven't worked in it, kind of just think that like if you go to Chanel, what you see in the shop could be couture. Like I think a few people think that might be the case.
Or like a big dress. Like if it's a big dress,
like,
then it's couture.
Yeah, in their main collections, they have a few frocks, you know, like
Yeah.
But we're here to correct you. So I have scoured the internet. Jokes. I just went on Wikipedia for a definition. So I'm just going to run through what that is in case you guys are interested. And actually, I was quite interested to see some of the points, having worked for a brand that has done couture in the past. So couture is the creation. I mean, it's called haute couture, but it's a hard word to say, so we're just going to say couture. It's
like high costume. Isn't that what it kind of means?
Yeah, or like, well, it's high fashion, and but it's creation of exclusive custom fitted clothing, which is constructed from hand, start to finish. So it became more rigorous to be a part of couture in 1945. You had to have all of these 4 criterias to be able to be eligible to have the title of haute couture and be eligible to be on that Vogue tab. So you have to design made for order for private clients with at least one fitting. You have to have a workshop, an atelier in Paris, and that has to employ at least 15 full-time members of staff. You have to have at least 20 full-time technical people in one of your ateliers, so that will be technicians or your seamstresses and stuff like that, and then you also have to present a collection of at least 50 original pieces to the public every season, twice a year in January and July.
Isn't it like
that's
okay,
that's rigorous. I think that's quite a lot, you know.
It is. There's a federation. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a French federation that kind of awards these things out.
Yeah, I can tell you what it is. It is the Chambre Syndicale de la Haute Couture.
Official.
And actually, there's only one British fashion house who holds that credit, and that is Ralph and Russo. Yeah,
that's big. I mean, it's a lot. It's not for, basically they establish these rules because it's not for the faint of heart. It's really about someone with deep pockets and the clientele base, or aspiring to have the clientele base, to kind of make stuff that most of us will never have the chance of getting and wearing. I mean, like the most haute couture thing you ever get to is like your wedding dress.
Yeah.
You have like a fitting and you might add and remove bits and bobs, and
some people do design their own.
Yeah. But they're basically trying to tell you like your wedding dress is not couture, babe.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what it has to be.
But yeah, I guess it's for the dedicated. It's for the people who, you know, like are really in it, and there's like a real craftsmanship. So I used to work for a company who did couture, and the artistry and the time that goes into these pieces is beyond.
It's insane. Yeah.
Like, and I used to work very near the client team, and you would have people, I think when I first started there, they had an order for £1 million wedding dress.
When
like, how much did that wedding cost?
Yeah, that's true. That must be royalty.
Yeah. Close
to. I've watched, I love a fashion documentary, and like I've seen like Dior ones, and they show you clips of the workshop with the ateliers and them sewing and the stress that they're under and all that stuff. And I'm just like, wow, that must be like such a cool job. And I'm here in lockdown with my cross stitch, and I'm like halfway through, and I'm like, these holes are too small, man. They're just like, it's driving me nuts. So what I'm trying to say is my cross stitch is parallel to
putting you on your path to becoming head seamstress at Dior.
Yeah.
I think in another life I would love to be a Parisian seamstress in a couture. the talent, the skill, and also there's something magical. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not there for the back-breaking work. Like that is a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of like, you are being rushed to create a piece of art in essence. But there's got to be something really cool and satisfying with knowing that like you've had a hand in it.
Yeah,
and also,
I mean, in decades to come, your work is going to be in a museum somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, I just want the lab coat, so.
I know, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? The white coat.
Yeah.
They make it look so profesh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're just going to be talking about a few fashion houses which have come out, our thoughts, and
we're talking lockdown couture.
Yeah. Maybe we should start with that British fashion house, which is the only one to be awarded an haute couture status. So Ralph and Russo, what were your thoughts?
So for those who don't know, they released, I guess it's an avatar. Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
So they created an avatar, not for all of their looks. I think it was maybe 4. And they placed the avatar in modern wonders of the world.
Yeah.
And it looked quite cool, you know, like it was an interesting way. I think we spoke about this last week on how we wanted the fashion shows to interpret the new lockdown or react to stuff. And I think it's kind of modern of them. And then the rest of their collection were just sketches, which I like as well. But I do think if I were a client, I would find it quite hard to know from a sketch, because if anyone's seen a fashion sketch, like it's on a lady with legs longer than a mile. It's an unrealistic sort of depiction of how a dress would look on somebody sometimes.
Yeah. I think what Ralph and Russo did was take this idea of fashion shows are now going digital to a literal interpretation. I think that what I really liked about the avatar is that she is this like statuesque, dark-skinned black model. She's not real, but you know, that's her look.
You can picture her as a model.
Yeah, 100%. And I think to like champion that aesthetic is amazing.
Yeah.
Like when there's always a sea of white models.
Well, I think we discussed it last week that the Dior video is just like, there's just, I get they're doing that Renaissance thing, but you know, we're in a world where we actually want to see some diversity.
Yeah, and especially when you talk about magic and folklore and fantasy, there is no reason why all the characters in a story have to look a certain way. So I think that argument that people might put forward is bogus. It's a fake story, so there's no reason why you can't have diversity. Abilities as well. It's not just about race, it's about abilities and looks. And so I think that was cool of Ralph and Russo. It's also, I don't know if you saw on Instagram a few years ago, I think it was 2017, there was a digital artist who created a model. She was an avatar called, so everyone knows I butcher names. So
bearing in mind, I won't steal your name, your surname. But this is coming from a girl who gets so pissed when someone butchers her own surname that it's pathetic.
Yeah, I know. You know what it is? I think it's just because like there's a way to say my name probably, and I think the way I know how to say my surname is like the Jamaican way.
Yeah.
I have no idea actually what the name, whatever. So my point is, the model is her name is Shudu Graham, and so she like the images of her, these digital images of this avatar model was created and like just blew up on Instagram because it was like she's incredibly like beautiful and regal looking and statuesque, but then people realized like, what the fuck, like she's not real. And I think another some
iRobot kind of thing.
It's like not only does it bring up the question of, is this another form of unattainable beauty because she's not even real?
Yeah.
But it's like, because the artist is white, it's that fear that people have. It's like, is he capitalizing off of the black image and like beauty and things? And I think those are both really valid arguments, although this model for Ralph and Russo and Shudu, who is the digital avatar who kind of started this thing, are both gorgeous artwork, and you can take that for what it is, beautiful images of digital people.
Yeah, but I guess they
thoughts?
are like a fashion sketch jumping off a page. So it like I was saying, like a fashion sketch is not, it's not what a woman looks like, and that's, I guess, what these avatars are. And yeah, it's a really interesting aspect actually, especially when we're kind of, diversity is so much more of a bigger thing, and actually the world of couture doesn't really do much about different shapes and sizes.
But that's, you know what, you said that, and I was thinking about that point today, because often the fashion, well, in more so in the past, but people who kind of can use the excuse of the people you see in our runways are the people who are our target audience. And it's like, well, the people who are your models are like 16-year-old girls. There's no way.
I tell you now.
Sure. And your actual clients are not like size 6 models. They are women who are older, who have money, who are all over the globe. So it's a pretty bogus, like.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, we used to have a sea of mannequins, like of the dimensions of the different core couture clients, and not one of them were a size 6. There are actually quite a few women, and I was actually quite shocked to see that they were larger ladies, and they're the ones buying couture. So surely, like, you should respond to that a little bit, because like you said, they're older. To have that kind of money, you either have married a really wealthy older dude, or you've made that money like with your partner or by yourself, and it's taking you time. So you're going to be maybe in your 40s, where you're not going to be a size 6. I guess the main thing that they would say for making it sample size is so that actresses and singers can wear them to award shows as kind of like free publicity. But maybe that's encouraging them to be that size too, you know?
Sorry, I had to cough.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, almost these actresses have to become their mannequins and stay a particular size. And yeah, I mean, it's such a big conversation, isn't it? But yeah, it's just not realistic. It's not a reflection of like reality, I suppose. Anyway,
I thought it was a cool idea. I kind of think it was a shame they didn't do it for every look. Like, part of me kind of thinks, did they run out of time?
Was it expensive?
Or like, did they just run out of time? They thought of it a bit too late. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
I have a feeling, because the way the dresses are, I feel like those dresses were made, and I guess the other ones weren't, or something. I don't know. Maybe the actual artist who had to render these designs digitally was like, mate, there's only so much I can do. It's a lot of work, I tell you that. And especially because they would have had to do it in a way that, like, with movement and like those things, there's a reason I don't want to ever do 3D. But yeah, I think it was a new concept. Obviously the avatars existed before, but not in the world of couture. But what other
I liked the idea. What was your favorite look though?
Oh,
what was your favorite look?
I liked the big yellow dress. So we will insert any pictures to what we're referencing on our Instagram, Style Over Substance pod. But that was, I think, my favorite look, because it was different.
You know what, it reminded me of Rihanna at
the pizza dress.
It was the pizza dress. Nothing wrong with that. Just it just instantly, I went to that place in my mind.
Some of their sketches I really liked, but of the avatar images, I really liked that. I thought it was different, and I kind of think you want that from couture. I don't think you want to see a dress that you've seen 1,000 times.
Yeah, the yellow one's definitely a showstopper. I liked the one with the pink one with the feather sleeves. I love feathers on a, so that was...
I love a feather moment. I've yet to have one, but one day I hope to.
So, what other show do you want to talk about next?
Let's go to Chanel.
What were your thoughts?
So earlier I watched the video that they
Yeah.
did, like a little video. I thought the video was really pants. It only showed like 5 looks. But what was cool is that they also released some craftsmanship videos of our ladies in lab coats actually making the dresses. And I think stuff like that, when they lift the lid on making of couture, I don't know if it's because that's like my absolute love of fashion, is watching the craft. I don't know if that's just appeals to me, but I just think that's really cool to get an insight of actually like the process. So,
yeah, and I think people who are spending like hundreds of thousands on it appreciate that as well, because that's what you're buying into.
Yeah. So I saw like in one of the videos as well, definitely check it out. I'll see if there's a way that I can get a snippet of it on our Insta. And they're actually making like the tweed fabrics on a loom there. And it's super special, because I know they normally outsource that, but I don't know if because of lockdown they had to bring that in-house. But that was super special and cool to also see. I'm going to butcher her name. I'm not going to say it. It was cool to see the new lady at work.
I get what you mean. I think this kind of collection, with the video, they tried to make it like a little bit rock and roll. I don't know. I might be wrong. But the overall
like 4
vibe.
looks.
Yeah.
Whereas the collection's got like 50. Oh, well, 30.
I did like the looks, though. I really like them. I think it gives me like a royal, kingly court,
super regal
vibe. A little bit Tudor-esque in places. I thought it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Do you have a favorite standout piece?
Maybe the one that's in the video. It's that white dress with that on the shoulder. Oh my god, I'm not going to be using technical words right now, but you know, the fabric like goes round. It's look 30. Okay, it's like a white dress.
Oh, I know the one.
With jewels and beading at the front.
Yeah,
and it's a skirt and jacket ensemble. That one, I think it's quite nice. It's not something that is trend driven. It's not something that you see on red carpets
looks like
or award
it
shows
could be a peasant dress.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
a really nice, like obviously a really nice one, but it's kind of that in between, or like a court something dress. I don't know. It's really nice. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's something that you would buy and it would sit in your wardrobe and it would be like something you wouldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah, it's really unique. I quite liked the I guess it was their answer maybe to a wedding dress. And also, how on earth are they like Chanel didn't have 50 looks, so they're gonna get kicked out.
A year. They still got more stuff to produce.
No, 50 looks is a show.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean it's special circumstances. Come on. But yeah, they had a white dress. And it's really unique. Again, it's sort of got like it's pinched in places, it's like fitted, but then it's got sort of like ruching side detail where like the volume comes from the side, and it was just a really interesting silhouette. Is it look 18 where the panel down the front is like a V and it's got like beading and crystal? Yeah, that one stand out as well, and I think it follows the same sort of vision as the one I was talking about. It's really like Elizabethan, but like the first Elizabeth. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's really cool. I think she's sort of she did a really good job, I think, because it wasn't super Carl, you know. You didn't I think she moved on her own, and I really like that. The next show, so we kind of discussed Dior, I guess, a bit last week, more so the video and a little bit about how we felt about the dresses. But do you want to discuss any more about Dior? Or have we set up?
There's not really a lot to say. Maybe I don't think in particular from what I've seen, like across the board, across brands, from what I've seen, although I've liked pieces and liked collections, nothing has gone like, oh my God, this is something I was not expecting. This is way off the scales. I think that maybe that lack of risk taking is like part of their business strategy. They're probably like, let's play it safe, let's play it to like what we know our customers will actually buy into.
It was like a recycling and an homage to all their previous designs. Like it kind of felt like we were having a Met Gala
like at Dior, do you mean in particular?
Yeah. Like I felt like the Dior show was basically like a Met Gala for their couture history or something. I mean, I loved the idea, as we said last week, but yeah, there was not much risk taking, I must say.
It did just remind me when I went to the V&A and saw the Dior collection, the exhibition they had. Beautiful, but I think she just reworked things, really.
Yeah. Next, and don't get me wrong, like we say it's kind of, we've seen it all before. They're still beautiful dresses. Like there's still so much that goes into them. But like, as I said before, you kind of want to see the dress you haven't seen like numerous times. I'd probably wear one of the ones that you've seen 1,000 times, but you like, as a fashion lover and admirer and follower, you kind of also want to see something pushing the boundaries. Yeah.
There was one piece that I liked from Dior. It's like this white coat belted, and then it has this almost tapestry like image or design on it. It's quite bold. I quite like that. But yeah, I agree with you.
We've got some Balmain.
Yeah,
butchered that as well, probably. Or Balmain.
In this one, there's a few guys wearing trainers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Quick interjection. I have some very interesting intel on how terrible sometimes couture footwear can be.
Really?
It has been known that there's been a dash to Primark or the equivalent in the European city to just buy some like basic pumps that you just then super glue like the fabric to or something.
Oh, I see. Is it for looks where you don't see their feet?
Yeah. Or like you might see a little bit and you want it all to match or something like that. It's terrible. But yeah, there are some dudes in it. Yeah. Did you have any standout looks or any? But is that not him? The models look really similar to him. Don't you think?
No, they're just probably chosen in his image. Like he probably imagines himself in his designs and stuff. I think there were a few dresses that we'd like seen before.
I know it's their thing, but I'm kind of over the really heavy like beaded stuff. It's like the stuff that like the Kardashians is like like they'll suddenly just like they reignite their friendship with him and wear all these dresses.
Yeah. There was one I liked overall. I liked the black and white kind of tailored suits with the white detailing sombreros and stuff. Yeah, I think that's cool look. There was one dress. Vogue puts it down as look 13, but it's this long black dress, and up the back there's this. Oh, what do they call it? Like jacquard print, blue and white and black, that kind of creeps up the back of this dress.
Yeah. Oh, I see it. I think it's look 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because you wouldn't expect it. So from the front, it looks super plain, and then it's like party in the back. I really like the bow back dress. I kind of feel like that would be couture scar.
I think that is a perfect segue to Giambattista Valli, because he is a lover of all things. Yeah, he is a bowback,
and there's a lot of frill.
Yeah, if you're looking for elevated prom dresses, Giambattista Valli is. It's not. I mean, they're beautiful, but they are classic
feather moments. The white dress with the red feathers.
I am looking at that right now.
I love it.
I love it as well. Yeah. I like that one with it's like this short like mini dress, red in tulle, and it has the like plumes of red tulle on either side of it.
They did a collection with H&M, and they had like a long dress in red tulle, and it kind of reminds me of that. Obviously it's nothing like it, but it's the same red tulle.
It's just his signature. Yeah, it's just his signature kind of like vibe.
I quite like the toilet brush holder-esque wedding dress look 7.
Oh, hold on.
So it's got like it's got so much sort of tulle along the chest, and then just goes into like a classic skirt, but it's just kind of like it's almost like you've got clouds as arms and chest.
Oh, that one. Hold on, I need to get to the right one. Yeah, that's cute.
I think it's interesting. But yeah, I think there's a lot of bow moments, and
like it's fluffy and it's frilly and everything, but the colors are always like simple and bold. Yeah. Have we seen this stuff before? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Like some of it's a bit interesting, and some of it reminds me of Victor and Rolf a bit. Like some of the sort of like it being a bit more eccentric. Definitely reminds me a little bit of Ralph and Russo, Victor and Rolf. I always get them confused. Like I always.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. There is one look where it's a black mini dress and it has like this tall black and white cape.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a bit. It reminds me of something. Is it Batman? Is it like something?
I feel like that's the only dress that you could probably wear like from the collection though, you know.
What, like from a practical standpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm going for that red one, I think. That is a birthday dress. That is a real like entering the party moment. I don't know where your arms go for that look.
I think it's the sleeves. I think that's the sleeves. So I think your arms just get lost in tulle.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
So what are your overall thoughts about the looks we've seen and Couture?
I'm going to say something that's kind of, I think, sad. I kind of don't think we needed it.
Oh.
Well, we haven't seen really anything new.
Yeah.
So only from that standpoint that it hasn't blown, like there's nothing that's blown my mind. And I guess because there's been so few that you do sort of then rip those apart a bit more or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to pose a question to you. Do you think we have reached do you think we've reached a point where we've seen all there is to see? Do you think that we just recycle different elements and attach it to new bits and put that out on the runway, and nothing really is gonna wow us from couture or from seasonal runways? Because
yeah, I think I think fashion's been like that for the most part. But I would say that, you know, there are ways of reinventing stuff, or I think the thing with couture is there is no price limit. You can like do the most intricate, ornate designs. It's not like ready to wear where you've got to hit that price bracket. Like show us everything your amazing seamstresses and embroidery team and all of that stuff can do. Like we know it's there.
Balmain did give us intricacy and beading and all that stuff, but they were styles and silhouettes that we kind of seen before. I think it's always like couture is a way of keeping artisanal practices and craftsmanship alive, and that in itself is a reason to keep producing and making these things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, what do I know? It's not like I'm buying it. It's not like I'm their target audience, isn't it? I'm just here to like mouth off about stuff that I will never own.
Oh man.
But yeah.
What did you make of it? What was your favourite show overall?
Okay, let me have a little recap in my mind. Oh my god, this is difficult. I think Chanel, for me, was probably the most wearable. In terms of, would I want to buy this stuff? Yeah, I think so. I think they had less of the showpiece, and they had more of the day couture clothes. Yeah,
but in a really interesting way, like you said. I think they would be my favorite too. But also, I actually really liked the Giambistivali. I think that was a fun show. Like, I think I'd enjoy watching that runway.
I think Chanel's always going to win with you.
Of course, but that's why, you know, I give others their due.
Well, yeah, that was our recap of Couture in a pandemic.
Lockdown
Was it
Couture.
was it worth it? No. Are we gonna need it? No. But yeah,
Maybe one day your wedding dress will be one of the ones we discussed.
buy it off eBay. Yeah,
Get that red tulle dress.
yeah, I will for my wedding. Jesus. So anyway, yeah, that was the end of episode 4. I mean, thanks for listening again, guys. We've had some really nice feedback so far. It's not perfect, but we're getting there. And so yeah, leave a review wherever you're listening. We're now on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and like a number of others. Leave us a 5-star review. You know what we always say? It's not about the 4, it's not about the 3, or any
It's
of the
about
other
the
lower
5.
numbers. It's about the 5. Follow us on Instagram so that we can like post images of what we're talking about and you can see what we're nattering on about. And that is Style Over Substance Pod. Email us at styleoversubstancepod@gmail.com. Send us your anecdotes and your story times, because we do that.
Please do.
We share a story time every other week, and we'd love to share some of yours. And also just like, we'd love to hear from you, know what you think. Anything else? We've got YouTube. If you want to listen to it on YouTube, you can. Subscribe to us. Help us out. And that's it. Have I missed anything else, Scarlett?
I think that's it.
Perfect. Well, I've been Mim.
And I've been Scarlett. Bye, guys.
See ya. Bye.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.